Hello and welcome back to my Pokemon Fire Red Normal Pure type. In the last episode, we collected our Porygon from the Celadon Game Corner, and then we started to make our way back from Celadon back to Lavender Town, and now we are making our way up through the Pokemon Tower because we have the Silph Scope, because we solved the problem with the rockets in Celadon City, and now we are here in Lavender Town, ready to continue onwards. One thing I did very quickly want to do, because it's rather important, is go into our TM case. We have all of these TMs, and one of the important ones for us is going to be Psychic, and we're going to use Psychic's going on our Porygon. It's essentially just it's a much better move than Psybeam. And for that reason, there is literally no reason for us to not have it. Everything else looks pretty fine, I would think. So we have that, and now what we're going to do is we are going to go inside the Pokemon Tower once more. We can obviously zip through a large chunk of this. Porygon's going to be really, really helpful here. Obviously, all of these guys are ghost types, but they're largely from the Gengar line. The Gengar line obviously being the Ghastly line, being the only family of ghost types in Generation 1, and so they are largely the only Pokemon we see. And obviously, the nice thing about them being ghost types is that they are also weak to Psychic, because they are half poison type, and therefore we can take advantage of that really nicely here. And as long as they just continue to curse, that is fine by me, because it means we can take them out really nicely. As we find ourselves an escape rope. So that is the first level done. We see Wild Ghastly, obviously, as well as the trainer kind. But yes, we should be able to make pretty quick progress through here, hopefully, I would have thought. Just because, like I said, we are, with Psychic, we are going to be very, very effective against the vast majority of these. Spite. Clever. But we land a Thief, thankfully. So yeah, I mean, the only issues we're going to have is, as you just saw there, obviously, PP, and also any battle where there's actually more than one, essentially, because then we have the chance for their curses that they seem to be so commonly using at the moment to actually start taking effect on us. I should probably Thief the wild ones. Thief is the slightly weaker move, so we can Thief the wild ones because they're obviously much lower level. It's interesting that we're slower. I mean, slightly annoying as well. I would love to not be slower, but nothing we can really do about that. There we go. Porygon wants to learn to go, wants to get to level. Sorry, gains a level, and now wants to learn Tri-Attack. Tri-Attack is very helpful. So we'll get rid of Agility, learn Tri-Attack. Lovely. I must have been dreaming. Tri-Attack's not a bad move, really. Base 70 obviously gets the stab as well, and also has that a decent chance to actually inflict one of Freeze, Burn, or Paralysis on your opponent. Yeah, it looks like these ghost types really have nothing for us in terms of actually dealing damage aside from Curse, so that is fine by me. So we arrive on the 4th floor, I guess. And the nice thing about this floor is that we have this sort of little healing area where essentially works just like a, I did not want to do it. Really? I've had a straight away. I was possessed, she says. So yeah, here is the purified zone. We can find a cleanse tag. And now we can continue to take on all of these channelers and their ghost types. There's a curse. Do you have a second Pokemon? No, you don't. All these possessed. I do like the idea that all of these sort of possessed people are inside a children's game. Well, you know, what's usually considered a children's game. There we go. So, Challenger Janae would like to battle. Has another ghastly. Lovely. I fell to evil spirits despite my trainings in the mountains. So we're just going to heal back up once more, because there's no reason not to. We should hopefully be able to potentially, yeah, get this encounter. But battle this girl here, and then this channeler here, and then we can actually move around her to get up the stairs onto the next floor. I believe there's only one more floor, really, before we reach the top. So very swift progress up through the tower. Just, you know, obviously having a Pokemon like, in this case, Porygon with a Psychic type move. Along with a significant level increase. I mean, we are 15 levels higher somehow. And now Spite can be a problem. These confuse rays are annoying. But there we go. I feel anemic and weak. As we get an X accuracy. So, we're going to be able to take on Chandler Jennifer here, who has another ghastly. I mean, when you think about it, I guess, we would have had our Porygon would have been. What level did we get our Porygon? About level 26 or something like that. So it would have been a higher level than these Pokemon anyway. Just straight out of the game corner without even leveling up. So obviously, a very useful Pokemon to actually get. Obviously, the issue with we're going to have with Porygon, unfortunately, and that's going to, you know, be a factor in this playthrough, is that obviously we won't actually be able to evolve. You can obviously evolve it into a Porygon 2 in this generation. Obviously, Porygon Z. I'm going to be forced to say Porygon Z because I'm English, but Porygon Z, it was a Generation 4 Pokemon. But Porygon 2 is obviously a Generation 2 Pokemon, but again, is another Pokemon that we can only, we can actually only get through, we can only get it through trading, and unfortunately, obviously, we can't trade, because we are emulating. I mean, obviously, I could adapt it such that trade evolutions were made into like level up evolutions, but I don't feel like that. You know, that's not really playing to the actual spirit of the game, I guess. So anyway, we meet these groups of rockets finally. So we're going to see some non-ghost type Pokemon. We are confused, but we land our rollouts really nicely. Well done, Wigglytuff. We send the first of the rocket grunts back home, and now we've got the next one. They say they're just talking over like adults, but it doesn't certainly look like that. As we land a nice, strong Mega Punch, we see a Drowsy next. So we will go into Porygon. We can thief. Pokemon are only good for making money. Why not use them? And then our third trainer is this one. There's another Zubat. We will roll out. As Wigglytuff grows to level 36, we see the Rattata and the Raticate all go down to roll out. Lovely jubbly. You're not getting away with this. So we reach Mr. Fuji here. But I came here of my own free will. I came to calm the spirit of Cubone's mother. I think Marowak's spirit has finally left us. I must thank you for your kind concern. Follow me to my home, Pokemon House, at the foot of this tower. So here we are in Pokemon House. The Pokemon House, yeah. And we can pop into here, we can talk to Mr. Fuji. He is going to give us... Anyway, your Pokedex quest is one that requires strong dedication. Without deep love for Pokemon, your quest may fail. I'm not sure if this will help you, but I'd like you to have it, as we get a Pokeflute. Upon hearing the Pokeflute, a sleeping Pokemon will spring awake, tracing on a Pokemon that has sleeping obstacles. So obviously, Mr. Fuji is going to be... his flute is going to be very useful to us. And in that way, what we're going to do is we're now going to rush down to... we're going to rush as fast as we can down to Fuchsia, which is what I said we would be doing this episode. So what I'm hoping is that we can avoid a decent number of the battles along Cycling Road. I'm pretty sure we can't avoid a lot of the battles on the water routes, and that's why we're not going that way. I think it is relatively close between which ones you actually see. So we played the Poker Flute. We're going to wake up this Snorlax. It's going to attack us in a grumpy rage. So, you're going to make me drowsy. Wonderful. And we miss our thing. Okay, you have Snore. That's interesting. And you have a Chesto Berry. So, thankfully, we get some luck as we get our crit hit and we take out the Snorlax. Obviously, a Snorlax would be a Pokemon we could potentially use, being a pure normal type, but we have already used a normal... We have already used a Snorlax in a previous... we have not charactered 40 times, but yeah, we've already used a Snorlax in a previous Let's Play on this channel, and therefore I will not be using a Snorlax in this one, because, as I've always said, I'm trying to use as a wide a variety of different Pokemon as I possibly can. So, do we actually have the bike voucher? We do have a bike voucher, okay. So bikes are in Celadon, I think? And thankfully now that we can actually enter and exit from Saffron, it's really easy to make the trip between all of these towns. So we'll head up here. This is the bike store. We can talk to you. We're going to get a bike voucher for a bicycle. I mean, it will speed things up anyway, so it was worth doing. We'll zip down, zip through Celadon. I'm obviously fast forwarding just because there's no point not. Bicycle. Can fly along now. Okay, yeah, should have gone above this guy, but anyway. Well, secret power of the Grimer is you screech me. And then we see a coughing, which we managed to get the paralysis on, so obviously secret power's secondary effect in this sort of area is that. Do I have an antidote? Anything like that? I have a paralyzer. Shouldn't be too much of a problem, because obviously Wigglytuff has such high HP that, honestly... Yeah, 60. There we go. Lovely. And now we can try once more to... Okay, so let's try this once more. Okay, so these guys turn. And we get through most of them. Okay. And we managed to avoid that guy, we managed to avoid that guy. Doesn't look like this is someone we can avoid, but we'll try. We can? Useful. Yep, we can avoid you. The reason we're avoiding these trainers is obviously because we don't want to waste the experience that we're going to get from these trainers on Pokemon that are already so high level as our current ones, when we can obviously save it for Pokemon that we're about to catch and use it to train those Pokemon up. So we head up these stairs, we can talk to you, who wants to trade Golduck for Lickitung. Lickitung being another normal type Pokemon that we could actually use. But, again, we can't, because we used Lickitung in, I believe it was Pokemon Bronze. And this is why, you know, because an awful lot of our potential Pokemon, I guess, potential team members have been taken up by previous things. So, now, we arrive here in Fuchsia, and we have a pretty big task on our hand, because we are now going to be looking to go to the Safari Zone and see how lucky we can get, because we need to capture some rather rare Pokemon in this area, and we're going to see how lucky we can be. So we're going to get the Safari Zone, we're going to spend it. Obviously, this first Safari Zone run we can actually use as an excuse because we've got to go through the Safari Zone anyway to get to Surf and for Strength. So all of that is fine, as we see another member of the Paris family. That was Solar Beam, I believe. Not trying to get all of the items, just because don't want to run out of steps, ideally. Although, like I said, we are more than likely going to have to visit the Safari Zone multiple times, because we have a lot of things to find in here, and they are not particularly common. I did not mean to throw that. There's another item there. We don't want to go up that way, we want to go up this way, and then across. There's a Chansey. Okay, so here is our first team, potential new team member. So we're going to save game. Just because, we're saving game here just because Chansey are obviously notoriously difficult to try and catch. And we've got to, this could take a while, depending on how much luck we get. So, this Chansey flees. Okay, so this is my usual tactic of bait, ball. Not always the best. There's the other tactic of literally just throwing Pokeballs. Oh, sorry, just throwing these Safari Balls. We will see which one works, because this could, again, take a while. And it flees once more, so if we just throw balls, let's see. I'm glad we've actually encountered this, because there we go. We catch our first team member, a Chansey here, the egg Pokemon. It lays several eggs a day. The eggs are apparently rich in nutrients and extremely delicious. So we're not going to give a nickname because we don't nickname our Pokemon. At the moment, we find ourselves a Steel Wing TM and another Nidorina. So I don't know the precise percentage chance of encountering each Pokemon in each area. So I don't know what the best area is actually to be in here, as we find the gold teeth. And double team. So we find the secret house, we get HM03, which is Surf. And now we're going to start looking for a Pokemon which can actually use Surf. So, I didn't mean to throw that, we're probably going to catch. We do catch. We won't be using the Nidoran. We see an Execute. We're just going to zip through these remaining things. It's because we probably... How many steps? We have 93 steps still. So we actually still have a decent way to walk. You can see how... how relatively rare there we go, the Chansey are, because obviously we didn't encounter another one there. So let's go have a look at our Chansey. So, Chansey. Summary. We have Sassy Nature, met in Safari Zone. So Sassy is increasing special defense, I think, or some sort of defense. Natural Cure, which is a really nice ability. Obviously, Chansey has Rubbish Attack, Rubbish Defense, but amazing special defense. And really high HP. So, really useful Pokemon. We have Refresh, Soft Boiled, Double Slap, and Minimize. Okay. So Soft Boiled is obviously key. I'd love to keep Soft Boiled here. We also believe we should hopefully have a TM for Seismic Toss somewhere in here. And obviously, Seismic Toss is a pretty, literally, you know, the best damage dealing move pretty much for a Chansey, because it has such low attack. You can run it special, I guess, but yeah, not really. What do you say? Catching one is all up to chance. Voltorb, the very image of a Pokeball. What else we have? Slowpoke, friendly and very slow moving. Where's Star? I'm only doing this just because, yeah, so let's just have a look. We can also pop into here. Warden Slowpoke is running a promotion campaign right now. So that's actually giving you a clue to go to the furthest and to get to Surf. Vacant looks like Slowpoke. Warden Slowpoke is very knowledgeable about Pokemon. He's got a speech problem. Obviously, he doesn't quite have, it's not quite a speech problem, really. We can talk to him. But first of all, we'll get the good rod here. And then we'll talk to Warden here. Who we're going to give him his teeth, and now he's going to give us strength as well. And we see some fossils there as well. So, this episode might be a little bit shorter, but we are going to call it to an end about now. As we can see a Lapras and some other things around here. You just survived the Safari game. We've got an Monotype. Wow. An extremely rare Pokemon that was regenerated from a fossil. So, Substitute. Interesting. We're not going to buy Substitute, but it's an interesting move to be given a move future for, actually. I wasn't expecting that. Anyway, so we're going to call this episode to an end just here, because what I need to do is I need to come back, have a look at the data for actually where I need to encounter various Pokemon in the Safari Zone in order to get the best chance of encountering our next two Pokemon, which are, so you know, which are Tauros and Kangaskhan. Once we get those two, we will have a full team of 6, and then we will be able to really start motoring with the rest of this game, because we have some gyms to go back to and conquer. We have loads and loads of trainer battles that are available all the way up Cycling Road, all the way down the water routes. So yeah, we have loads of stuff waiting us, but first of all, in the next episode, I need to make sure that we're not just wandering around the Safari Zone, not aimlessly, but blindly, but actually, we actually know exactly where we need to be looking, and once we find those next two Pokemon, we will be in a really good position to carry on and complete the rest of this pure site. So I hope you have enjoyed this episode of my normal monotype of Pokemon Fire Red, and I hope you will join me on the next episode.